What is up, YouTube? I want to talk about how to actually stop caring about others' opinions, and there are like billions videos like that, right? But I want to actually provide the actionable steps for this, and I've decided to make it because it's so important for me. I've struggled with this my whole life, and it stopped maybe only like 6 to 9 months ago, and I had this fear, this anxiety that, damn, what if I will be afraid of opinions of other people for the rest of my life? That would be like the worst outcome, right? Look, I think I'm very representative of the most regular average person because that's what the world is mostly comprised of. Look, I'm not special. I grew up as an introvert, quite extreme introvert, maybe even. I felt uncomfortable in a social setting with a lot of people, especially when I don't know any of them. I would just be the guy who always would leave the party first. I was always worried about, standing out because then I would catch more attention from people, and it just wasn't really flying with me. And I was doing pretty well in school. I was actually like the top of my class. And I remember this uncomfortable feeling when teacher would compliment me in front of the whole class, like, Edwin, you've done the best job in the whole class. And I would feel uncomfortable because then other students would look at me, and I know they were thinking like that I'm this nerd, that I'm this loser nerd who just has like no friends, no life. He's always, and plus I was playing a lot of video games. I was playing this Counter Strike, and I just, just being skinny, playing a lot of Counter Strike and getting good grades. Man, I had like all of the combo to be bullied as a nerd. And I remember when I was little, like 5 to 8 years old, whenever my mom was upset at me, and she would yell something like, "Edwin, what other people would think?" And it was like on the least important things ever, like not wearing my gloves properly, or my or my winter hat properly, or like not knowing how to tie my shoes, man. And she would always like pressure me, think what other people would think of you, what other people would think. And of course she was like mostly afraid, mostly worried of that other parents would think that my mom is like incompetent mother or something because my hat doesn't look the right way, or like my sweater is longer than my jacket. My sweater is longer than my jacket, so like the jacket ends here but the sweater ends here, and it just looks sloppy, right? It just looks messy. Like I wouldn't give shit what other people would think about it, because like who the fuck cares? But my mom would be like so afraid of what other parents would think of her, that she's a bad mother, and she was like putting this pressure on me that it's my fault. So I've developed quite a bad anxiety in the ages of 12 to 19. And honestly, I thought that everyone feels that way. I thought that it's normal to feel that way. And my mom still, she still cares way too much of what other people think. And I see it's actionable steps. Fuck me. So what I was saying, yeah, I've developed this fear of what other people think, this fear of social judgment, just because from how my parents treated me. But I got rid of this. I'm very glad I got rid of this. I genuinely got rid of this. So um, I don't really look like sad in here. I was like kind of, oh, the sun is in my eyes, like. But these are the pictures I found when I was little, and I was very afraid of what others would think of me, and I had a lot of anxiety. And here I was still was fearing about what other people think of me. This picture was taken like 3 years ago, but I'm smiling with this in this picture, which is very little percentage of my pictures where I'm smiling, but just wanted to like show a contrast, right? That from a sad and anxious to happy and not giving a fuck of what other people would think of you. So actual advices. Look, I could spend 5 hours explaining how it's only in your head, and just have to start living your own life. People only care about their own life. They don't give a fuck about you. And I heard it 1,000 times, and you heard it 1,000 times, and it didn't help anyone. So I'm not gonna say it, right? That's not what you hear. That's not why I'm here. I would rather go to sleep now. Look, best thing that can help you, and I know it will be painful to hear it because it requires your active action, and it's not some ashwagandha pill that you can buy from Amazon, have it by your doorstep after 3 days, and just my life is fixed. No, you have to start working towards a bigger goal. Any goal that you have, ideally, like something that leads you towards your dream life. So it can be like nice Porsche, nice car, and all, nice house. Satisfying the biggest need, like the highest thing is like self actualization, your creativity, acceptance, experience of purpose, big one. Having a great healthy physique, just traveling everywhere, having like all of this luxury access. And I understand it's not an immediate fix, but to fix your like self-esteem and stop caring about other people, you don't need any of that. You need none of that. You don't have to achieve any of this at all. What you need to do is to genuinely start believing that you can achieve this. You will never achieve this in your whole life, and your great grandson may not achieve any of that. But if you genuinely believe that you can, that's all that matters. Believe. That's all what matters is that you can believe in this. And how can you believe in this? Is to make at least some small incremental progress in any part. Look, um, if you're a broke college student and you set yourself a goal to become a millionaire in 1 year without doing any activities that lead towards that goal, you definitely won't achieve this, and you won't even believe that you can achieve this. You just have to believe. If your goal is to get a job in investment fund, like it was for me a year ago, look, I was spending hours and hours daily going through all finance courses, reading CFA books. CFA is like this chartered financial analyst accreditation. I was reading all of these textbooks, watching the modern videos daily. I was obsessed because I saw the progress, and progress actually the biggest motivating factor. Look, if you are on insane caloric deficit, eating like 600 calories per day, which is only egg whites, it's like disgusting. You feel terrible. You feel like fucking shit. But in one day, you lose like 10% body fat. You start seeing your abs, like model abs like this guy has. You will keep doing this, man. You are definitely gonna be able to do this. No matter how hard it is, how bad it is, if you can see progress, you can achieve this. So achieve at least some progress in any of your big goals. Like you want to make more money. Okay, like I don't know. Maybe something else. Can't really comment here. Um, you want to start eating more healthy. just buy blueberries. You okay? Like you want to have a better physique. Just start going to the gym. Just start going to the gym. After like 2 months of hard work, you can see some small little incremental progress, and it will just get easier and easier. And you will believe, you will genuinely believe that you can have a great physique. You will genuinely believe in this, and then you will be obsessed with this idea. You will be obsessed with other goals, and you won't give a fuck what other people think about you. Look, I know it's not an easy fix. I know it's not what you want to hear, but it worked absolute wonders for me. So would you rather never start fixing the fear of others because it requires an action, like 1 month of action, you will skip because of that? Or will you just spend this 1 month of still fearing other people's opinion, but after 1 month you have a great chance that it will fade away, right? Think of it as a trade. Next one. Start talking to strangers, to some random ass people. And you'll realize most of them are boring, factory made zombies who have nothing going on in their lives. You'll realize a lot of people are actually like that, and you really don't want to care what losers think of you. You will see that the people of whose judgment you are afraid of are actually losers and doing much worse than you. And best way to do that, at least for me, was going to the sauna after gym. It's absolutely the best setting. That is actually me sitting right there talking to this fat fellow. Um, I often come there, and look, the best conversation starters I found is like, oh man, I haven't seen you before. Are you coming here often? Or I would say, it feels hotter or colder here than usual. No, it like works so great. If someone has a tattoo, it's the easiest one. The easiest one if someone has a tattoo. It's like, oh, did it hurt? Where have you done it? Very easy. Other places like store, waiting line in the checkout, museum, library, and just trust me, it's really easy. I haven't done any small talk in neither of these two places, but I've done really, really a lot of small talk in the sauna. And I never really cared how it will go. Shit. My camera just died. Um, Anyways, don't really remember what was the last thing I said. It's already morning. But probably just skip to the next point. Um, you'll most likely negatively judge other people for doing something that you do not have the courage to do yourself. Um, so I remember, judging guys my age who pose in the gym and are like very social and extroverted, who are posting content online, like all the things that I wanted to do, all the things that I would like to do. And I was judging them negatively because I couldn't do that myself. So that's this thing. So understand that if someone judges you, it's not because it's not because you're doing something awkward or improper. Understand, it's a coping mechanism when someone cannot do the same thing that you're doing. In school, when others were judging me for getting good grades and calling me a nerd, it was mostly kids who were bad students, who couldn't read, who couldn't write and do basic math. Of course, they will call me a nerd because for them it's such a big delta of skill in basic, like, mental abilities. Honestly, my whole class was full of complete losers and idiots, maybe except for a selected few who could actually achieve something, but we'll see. And the last point is be positive towards others. Just compliment random people, wish them a great day, wish them to have a good meal, ask random people to help you with something. So imagine you think that someone is judging you at the gym.
ask them to spot you and thank them for that and wish them a good day. Do you think, even if that person was judging you, like imagine someone is really judging you at the gym quite negatively, you ask that person to spot you, you wish him a good day, you thank him for the spotting, do you think that person will continue to judge you? Insanely unlikely. Like, insanely unlikely. Absolutely not. And it does really work like magic, you know? And one last thing is just that being afraid of social judgment is a negative emotion. And you can push out the negative emotion with a positive emotion. And of course, you can't get negative emotion just out of the pocket, right? But try to fake it. I know it sounds like, what? Faking a positive emotion? No fucking way. But yes, just try this. And I'm telling you, it will work. It's not the it's not the any positive activity that brings you to the positive emotion. No, it's initiating positive emotion that brings you to the positive activity. Right? The end. Thank you for watching.